Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business. Hello and welcome to the Energy Outlook. My name is Wisdom Chap Jumbo. Another exciting weekend as we delve into the conversation of energy. This week, our conversation is very critical. We go into the logistics, or we'll call it supply chain of the energy sector, but more specifically logistics. Many don't know that what drives the energy sector a lot is logistics, moving products from one place to another. If you look at how, of course, what adds more cost to our fuel or petrol as you have it, is that back in the day when they have to import into the country to the ports, they put it in the depots, they need to transport it, from one point to another across the country. And that's why many say the costs of petrol varies depending on where you are in the country. Experts have said what adds that cost is usually logistics, moving it from one point to another. And logistics expenses in Nigeria run about 30% above global average. That's what experts have said. And this is driven by bottlenecks when we go to our Papa Wharf or Papa Port, the congestion there, aging infrastructure, and other issues, that have contributed to some of this. So today, we are discussing what are some of these issues that have put the logistics part of the energy sector, so some bottlenecks or strain itself. Where can we provide solutions? A lot has changed over time, and we see that even there have been data-driven approach to try to make sure that they improve on logistics, and AI is playing a role in also all of this. I mean, across the world, we don't know what's really happening in Nigeria. But investment have started going into this space itself. And things like CNG, are changing how we look at logistics. CNG is cheaper. A lot of people are using it. It's environmental friendly, But quite a lot we want to unpack today. Logistics in the energy sector at Crossroads. Is it at Crossroads? We'll discuss all of this shortly. But let's go on just a few minutes break. When we come back, of course, we walk you through what's trending in the news in the energy sector. Stay with me. Welcome back, and we'll walk you through what's trending in the news very quickly before we get into our conversation. A lot of breaking news, a lot of burning topic we want to bring up to you. First, 24 states backpedal on power market reforms over tariff. 24 states backpedal on power market reforms over tariff. Debt risks. This is on the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria pushes for a decentralized electricity market. Is facing a deadlock in 24 states. Nigeria's push for a decentralized electricity market is facing a deadlock in 24 states as tariff structure and debt crisis threatens to contribute to subnational government to the distressed sector. So what we're trying to say here is a lot of issues around tariff. 2 years after signing the Electricity Act, only about 12 states have been granted regulatory autonomy. Still, operations of the 12 states, 1/3 of the subnational face serious crisis, inherent challenges, around the issue of tariff. You can catch this particular story on the Guardian newspaper. Tariff seems to be a big issue since what happened in Enugu. A lot of conversations have been going on tariff itself. So you can catch that story on the Guardian. Our next story, we want petroleum products at reasonable price. DAPMAN. The Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria has called on Dangote Refinery to make its fuel supply more accessible to marketers and sell products at affordable rates. The spokesperson of the association, Kim O'Hare, said recently that closer collaborations with the refinery would ensure steady supply and end fuel queues across the country. It's been back and forth with DAPMAN, the unions, and Dangote Refinery. We hope they come at a reasonable conclusion with all of these issues, as it seems to be 2 weeks long of many conversations around that. Our next story, FG begins verification of disputed oil and gas field in the Niger Delta. The federal government has commenced the verification of disputed and newly drilled crude oil and gas fields across the Niger Delta to resolve ownership claims and ensure equitable revenue allocation to producing states. All right, you can catch this story, of course, on major newspapers just to read what the federal government is doing with disputed oil and gas fields in the country. FG's JV stake sales could bankrupt NNPCL. Pengasi, Nopeng warns. This story is on the Punch. Newspaper, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasi, as well as the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers have rejected the announced plans of the federal government to divest significant stake in joint venture assets managed by the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited. The two unions warned that the move to allegedly amend the Petroleum Industry Act and remove the running of oil and gas from NNPCL could endanger the country's economic stability, weaken its oil industry, and jeopardize the welfare of workers. You can catch this story on the Punch newspaper just to read more what Pengasi and the unions are saying. Nigeria can now produce 2 billion crude oil barrels per day. You can catch this story on Daily Trust. Nigeria can now produce 2 million crude oil barrels per day. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has stated that the country has the capacity to produce 2 million crude oil per day. This is still 200,000 barrels short of the 2.2 million barrels per day target by federal government in the 2025 budget. The commission said this yesterday as it continues to meet its OPEC quota due to its initiative and working collaborative with the industry stakeholders to sustain growth and production. All right, you can catch this story on the Punch. But just before the program today, we have seen the back and forth conversations with Pengasi workers at Dangote Refinery, and the response from Dangote Refinery management. We understand that, of course, with the letter we've seen from Pengasi and the unions to say that there have been a series of issues at the refinery, which they have, of course, raised in the letter, because my producers can put that on the screen. And Dangote has swiftly responded to some of those conversations. If you can look at the screen, yes, they've written with a series of issues which they've highlighted there, and which many have said, of course, they have put an eyeballs, on what's happening at Dangote Refinery. The unions are saying they are looking out and they are calling on the public on quite a lot of issues of alleged layoff of some of their members who they said they are only issues because they are now members of the Pengasi union. But swiftly, Dangote has responded to say they are only doing a reorganization And this is their statement to follow up what is indeed happening. This was published today by the management of Dangote Petroleum Refinery. He said its reorganization and commits to safety, integrity, and workers' rights. So over 3,000 continue to work actively in the petroleum refinery at present. And only very small number of staff were affected as we continue to recruit Nigerian talent through our various graduate training programs and experience hire recruitment process. So Dangote is saying it's a reorganization. I'm nothing short of that. This is their response to the Pengasi branch in the refinery earlier today. All right. Okay, so quickly, that's what we have for you on What's Trending. And we take a short break, and when we come back, it will be a perfect time to now get to our conversation for today. Please stay with me. Don't move. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, and thank you for staying with me. This is still the Energy Outlook live from Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Wisdom Chap Jumbo, and thank you for joining us. All right, our conversation today is on logistics in the Nigeria energy sector. Is it at Crossroads? What is really happening there with all that has changed, or the disruption that we see happening within the energy sector, of course, when it comes to logistics? So these are more we'll be discussing today. My guest is my very big Oga, who is here to join me in the conversation, Dr. Jude. He is Managing Director, Rain Oil Logistics Services Limited. Doc, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Wisdom. Good to see you. Good to be with you.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Nwa Olule.
Nwa Olule.
Yeah, Nwa
Okay, so
Olule.
Dr. Jude Nwa Olule. Which state are you from?
I'm from Delta State.
Delta. Oh, it should be Delta Igbo.
Delta Igbo, yeah.
Delta Igbo. Oh, okay. Amazing. All right, welcome to the program. It's good to have you.
Thank you. It's been a while.
It is.
It's been a while.
It is.
So we're here now.
So our conversations today, when I thought about the topic, you came to my mind because you play heavily in the logistics space of the energy sector. Leading Rain Oil Logistics Limited, Service Limited, is quite a huge responsibility considering the work of Rain Oil in the energy sector. But my first question to you will be, historically, make us understand really, how do you explain logistics in the Nigerian energy sector? Many may not understand if you don't play actively in the space. You seem to be blindfolded, from all that really happens. What do you guys really do in logistics?
Yeah, logistics, if you trace logistics, memory lane, logistics, you could segment it, the colonial times, post after independence. The regulation came in when you say subsidy is gone, and currently logistics we're at transition.
Okay.
So each of the phases came with its own challenges.
Okay.
In the eras of the colonial masters, logistics was actually designed for crude trucking earlier. I mean, for crude piping.
Okay.
The days of Olubiri, when the IOCs, were piping a petroleum product, now crude, towards the export terminals. At those times, that was exactly with the introduction of trucks along that channel for refined product. Coming down to sometime 1977, you see the introduction of the NNPC.
Okay, from 1977.
77, when the NNPC came on board to handle the petroleum product production and refining and equally distribution. So at that point, logistics was there were heavy investment on piping. Across the country. Nigeria typically is kind of wired underground, across locations, across the 21 NNPC depot across the country, Warri, Benin, Port Harcourt, across
These
those
depots are
lanes.
connected with the
They
pipes?
are connected with the pipes.
Okay.
But over time, the pipes were exposed to attacks, vandalism, and all that. So that leads to gradual coming into logistics with a massive trucking. Even at the time, we have the pipe, there were trucks that were supporting. But the failure of the piping led to heavy investment on trucking. Along the line, you have the private depots coming on board. So that is exactly how it has happened. And Nigerian, within the logistics space, has over the years 100% dependent on fossil fuel diesel powered, which is very, very heavy, non-environmental friendly. Recently, with the recent happenings in the industry, like I said, at the point where now it's on the transition, transition cleaner fuels and all that. So basically, logistics has gone through down that memory lane long till where we are now, and it's still transiting.
We're still trucking till today.
Yes.
Is that where we are now with the energy transition? Would that be the best approach to still look at logistics? Because why I ask that is that logistics expense in Nigeria, they say is 30% above global average. I don't know if that's true.
Well, it depends on where you are coming from.
Okay.
It depends on where you are coming from. When you're measuring logistics expense, there are standard variables. In terms of, are you measuring through the LDC, the landing cost, the landing cost variables? Are you measuring logistics expense to GDP?
Okay.
I think that's at the national level, logistics expense to GDP on a global scale. That measures are between 6% to 8%.
Okay.
The last report I read from Nairametrics attributed, Nigerian expense in terms of GDP, logistics expense in terms of GDP to about 15%, which is actually way high. But as an operator, the logistics expense is high, very, very high. There are
That's from your own end now?
Yes, from my own end.
Okay.
There are three major factors, really.
Okay.
The diesel cost, which led to this transition.
The diesel for the trucks?
For the trucks.
Okay.
Diesel accounts for between, let me be conservative.
Okay.
between 40 to 50%.
Okay, of your total expense?
Operating cost.
Operating cost, okay.
So you can see it's not efficient. You talk about these trucks move on tire. Tire expense is within the neighborhood of about 13% of your operating cost.
Yeah.
You proceed to talk about spares.
Okay.
These trucks, because of the nature of the road, I don't know. Big men like you don't travel on the road. So
Don't leave me.
If you travel on the road, you see the state of our Nigerian road.
It's bad.
So the parts take addition about 14%.
Wow.
When you aggregate this, you're talking about over 70% operational expenses. So when you are measuring the logistics expense, it depends on which parameters you are actually making reference to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a final analysis, it's far way above our own expenses, logistics expenses, far above that 30% you quoted.
So it's even more than what I've looked at. So we are still trucking, which, as I mentioned before, I don't know if that is still the best approach for our logistics. But however, global energy companies, we understand now, have leveraged artificial intelligence to drive their logistics. Where are we with that in Nigeria, if we're still driving trucks on the road?
Yes, definitely. You asked a fundamental question. Are we still trucking? Why are we trucking? These questions are tied to infrastructure.
Okay.
These questions are tied to infrastructure. Some of the efficient ways, of distributing petroleum product still remains the piping, still remains maybe by rail, and remove the nuisance on the road. So The place of artificial intelligence is very, very key, very, very massive. I mean, the artificial intelligence on its own has created its own added value.
As an operator yourself, are you leveraging that? Are you using it?
In Nigeria generally, at the moment, there is no full integration of artificial intelligence. What operators are doing, I think we've moved beyond the mail Excel data sheet.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's the telematics.
Okay.
There is Internet of Things. There is automations but that is not really the real AI
No, it's
that
not.
drives. I mean, these are apps and little infrastructure here and there. So Nigeria, to a reasonable extent, we've not really embraced that. I think that the full embrace will come in the next phase.
Okay. Okay. The next phase where we are going to.
Yes.
So that next phase might be triggered by the energy transition, the way we are going now. So my question is, with global energy transition reshaping a lot of things that is happening within a sector, of course, including reshaping investors' expectations, within the sector, what do you see happening, and how would this affect the logistics? If you look at this broadly for the entire supply chain, do you see any changes specifically?
Yes, definitely. There are changes. Global energy transition, has changed the entire dynamics. So basically, in today's supply chain, you're not here of ESG, environment, social, and the governance as it affects the entire supply chain.
Yes.
You begin to hear about carbon credit, environmental sustainability, and
Exactly.
all that. So basically, it's innovate or die. Aligning with aligning with the theory of Joseph Scoopman. Creative destruction and all that. So basically, the global transition has shaped. Nigeria, in which we operate, as early as 2020, declared a decade of gas.
Yes.
2020 to 2030. And I'm impressed that for the first time we are seeing consistency in government policy. From that time till now, we can still see the drive. A new government has come in place. From day one, declaring subsidy was gone. And constitute CNG presidential initiative that are driving the penetration of CNG across the country, and they are doing great. They're doing a great job, irrespective of the challenges along those chains. So basically, at the moment, operators are queuing and coming into that for efficiency's sake.
Okay.
Yes, on CNG, beyond being cleaner energy, is being substantiated that is coming with about a 40% gain, compared to diesel, diesel engine and diesel consumption, which equally pollute our environment.
Yeah.
So from the global perspective, it's beginning to trickle down. However, our speed here is one step at a time.
But the decade of gas, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think we've achieved substantial progress?
Well, when you say decade of gas, 5 years down the line, we're at the middle of that decade of gas. Decade of gas, 2020 to 2030. When I look back, I can see the level of investment across the gas chain. Under the previous administration, emphasis was more on the cooking gas, that is the LPG. At that point, I think even my organization, Rain Oil, we established a gas facility about 4,000 metric tons in Ijegwu and other operators. And there's huge, massive investment in those directions. Okay. So as of today, a new government came on board in 2023.
Yes.
And from day one began to promote CNG. So you can see that gas value chain is being heavily promoted. The last time I checked, I followed up a trend. The gentleman that manages that, the presidential CNG, Michael, when they went to commission facility in Bovas, stated that as at that time, sometime about June, we already have about 68 refill stations across the country, which is huge. I understand their targets are about 170 before the end of the year. So I think the decade of gas has kicked up and kicked very, very well.
Substantial progress.
Yeah, there's progress.
Following this now, but first of all, I wanted to ask you, I mean, because you are an operator in this part, you're a member of DAPMAN.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You're not the spokesperson of DAPMAN.
No,
so
I'm not.
I
I listened to your news. You mentioned him.
Yes.
And interestingly, that man is speaking loud.
It's speaking loud.
Yeah, he's speaking loud. It's very, very
Okay.
interesting.
So I asked that because my next question was going to go that the disruption in the space we see in logistics is with Dangote's 4,000 CNG trucks that will now pick products from the refinery with free logistics, to filling stations as a way to help Nigerians to reduce the price, of course, of the products when it gets to them as end user. We have seen some resistance in a way. I mean, they talk back and forth, DAPMAN and everybody, and then Openg and all. So my question is, we have seen a disruption with the CNG trucks and all of that. What do you see? Are we ready? Because it's looking like the operators and the sector did not prepare for this sort of disruption that Dangote has brought into the market. What do you foresee? Are you confident as an operator that you will surmount what is coming?
Yes, are we ready? Yes, to a large extent.
Okay.
To a large extent, especially within the green logistics corridors. Yes. Like I stated earlier on, the challenge has been infrastructure.
Yes.
Within the across the country, in terms of CNG penetration, within the south, and southwest. Okay. This is where you have the dominant penetration so far. So from that perspective, you could see we are partially ready. The penetration hadn't gone across the entire country. Even as today, I'm aware that some of our competitors, the operators in the industry, has invested heavily on CNG as well. As at early this week, I got a report. One of our competitors, whom I don't want to mention, have brought in about 100 CNG trucks as well.
That's impressive.
So the operators were gradually. The reality is that it's either you can or you can't compete.
True.
True. There's significant cost difference. Every businessman wants to minimize costs and maximize profits. Yeah. But however, I want to ask you, maybe I might the one asking now. I wanted to ask, is there anything like free delivery? Does free delivery really exist?
I mean, that's what Dangote have said. They said, they are going to send the product, the trucks to pick the product from the refinery and send, to the retailers anywhere they are in the country. And they clearly said that is free. You don't agree?
Well, we're here to discuss logistics generally.
Okay.
So I don't want to go into that debate.
Okay.
What Dangote has done is very, very impressive.
Okay.
If not for any other thing, in terms of our environmental sustainability and cleaner fuels. Okay. So operators are all keen in. So that is very. I mean, you need to commend Dangote's efforts so far.
Yeah. The resistance.
Marketers were buying directly from him. Okay. Sometime last week that was put on hold. Okay. So when you now pay, he supplies you directly. Okay. When he supplies you directly, if I quote NATO president, the members have about 30,000 trucks. So what happened to those trucks? So in my own organization, for instance, if we queue fully with Dangote, I have over 400 trucks. So what happened to those trucks? They go moribund, they go idle. On one end from Dangote end, he's creating employment. On the other end from the operator's end, they are creating unemployment. So it's just a balance. It's inclusion. The demand, the request is, hey, let's sit down and discuss this. Okay. Dangote is big. If you are big, you are big. I mean, It's the biggest so far in the Africa with the single train refinery. So he's supplying across all over the countries. So
Up to Europe.
basically, yeah. So the operators are not expecting him to be the same person supply to the last mile. So that is the argument. And again, there are governance aspect to it, which they keep on referring to PIA.
PIA.
I mean, they are governing laws.
I
And
think section
that was,
212 of PIA and all of that.
so
Okay, let me not push it too much into the whole.
yeah, let's focus on logistics.
Let's come back to logistics. Okay, but let's go on a quick break and take a breather. When we come back, I have a few more questions for Dr. Jude on logistics, and of course, in the area of going green, looking at the transition and all of those conversations. Don't go. Stay with me. We'll be right back. Let's go on this quick break.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
All right, thank you for staying with me and welcome back. This is still the Energy Outlook Live. We're talking to you from Lagos, Nigeria. My guest is in the studio. We're looking at logistics in the energy sector. Is he at Crossroads or not? My guest, Dr. Jude, is still with me, Managing Director, Rain Oil Logistics Services Limited. All right. So, Dr. Jude, back to you now. We mentioned earlier that infrastructure, is at the core of what will either change the logistics space or not. And it remains the biggest bottlenecks we have when we talk about logistics. But when we look at investments in things like the Lekki Deep Sea Port and other similar projects, across the country, which of course we know that has amounted to over $17 billion so far, if you look at it cumulatively. Is this not enough? Or what else do we expect when we talk about infrastructure?
Well, 17 billion Lekki Deep Sea is huge.
Not just the Lekki Deep Sea, but other projects, like they have the Bonny Seaport project that they want to do, and other seaports in Akwa Ibom and all of that.
Yeah, the reality is, this could just be the beginning. A single refinery had cost over, $20 billion.
$20 billion.
So you can see the extent to which money is needed and required for the infrastructure.
Yeah.
At the moment, if you look at infrastructure holistically, you realize that we're lacking.
In which area?
We typically, as at this age and time, like we said earlier, petroleum products are not supposed to be moved by trucks anymore. You know, if the pipelines are working effectively, yeah, it reduces the interplay of trucks on the road. I mean, if the rail are working, moving this, you are aware in places like Kaduna, they have a lot of storage facilities across the country, moving this from across mile. You know, it's kind of help reduce the burden on the road. Even if taking a look at our road, like I said earlier, if you go through our road, I drive, on the road, which area of the road are you going to go to? Benin axis, Warri, Sepele, Benin, Port Harcourt axis. The roads they are dilapidated. They are no maintenance. Though the recent attempt by the FG making an attempt towards a concessioning, we've not begun to see the investors, those to take over those portions that have been concession. I'm aware from Benin to Asaba, that road has been concession, but no work has started there. So we have a total decay on infrastructure, starting from the road, the sea. Taking a look at the seaport, there are a lot of risk. Everything that has to do with ports is concentrated in Lagos. You mentioned the Ibom deep sea, which is still still in progress, still work in progress. You can talk about Onne. How are they functioning? To what extent to what level of investment has been taken to those directions? So naturally, the expectation is to kind of open up everywhere, open up the seas, Ibom. Beyond the bomb, you go to Calabar. They open up the Calabar waterways. You come towards Delta State, Ogara, Koko, Port Harcourt, Warri. When this product flow along those lanes, it's become more healthier, and it add more value to the society.
But can we still achieve piping now, or we should consider rail?
Well, these things are policy direction. Based on how the government wants to go. Piping is still viable. Unfortunately, in the areas of crude, the government has had a running battle in terms of securing those pipelines. So, huge contracts are awarded to different vendors to secure. So basically, but it's still an option. It's still a possibility, or the rail options. So what I'm trying to advocate is that the heat, to a reasonable extent, should leave the road. Our roads have become like death traps. So we need huge money. The country need to devote huge budget to this infrastructure, and it's going to be deliberate. Like I said earlier, if we see policy consistency, from the APC government, the decade of gas, we are praising where they meet them, praising that. And you can see how they build up. If the government continue that trajectory, subsidy is already gone, and you begin to now, maybe in the next tenure, begin to consolidate on infrastructure. So that'll be fine. But Lagos needs to be, to be decongested. It needs to be unbundled. Everything has to do with the seas here. You bring in all the cargoes here. You now begin from Lagos to the east, Lagos to the north, through trucking. It doesn't work.
I understand we have some questions. People watching us online, the comment section. My producers who want to share. All right, Ibrahim Yusuf is asking, top-notch historical evolution of logistics in Nigeria by Dr. Jude. Oh, okay, yeah. Ibrahim, the historical evolution highlights was really top-notch, and then aligning to the current realities. Amazing. A lot about your historical knowledge there, Doc. So, okay, we do have a question. In my opinion, I don't think there's anything like free delivery. So that is the question he asked me before. The argument, LDL perspective is incredible. Okay, so we'll come back to this particular question on free delivery. But thank you everyone for your comments. Please keep them going. Dr. Jude is still with us. So we'll just take some few of our time to really take some more questions for Dr. Jude. Okay, so my next question now will be: you had mentioned the rising of insecurity. The issue of security for the pipelines, which we should indeed consider. But when we look at, it's been a struggle from government to government with this issue of pipeline vandalism. From your point of view, of course, as an expert within this logistics space in the country, what could be a solid solution to pipeline vandalism, if there's any?
Yeah, they are. You earlier mentioned AI. I mean,
Okay.
you earlier with AI, with drones, good surveillance. I mean, you don't necessarily need to put men in the field. You can stay in your office and monitor what happens in those kind of pipeline and kind of create sensors. If there's any attacks on the pipeline, it beeps up, and you create a security checkpoints along those lanes. You know, at that point, you're able to secure the pipeline. However, what I've actually seen, to some extent, it seems as if the government doesn't have the political will. I think it's more political will, actually, to quell the challenges along the pipeline channel is something that is surmountable. Okay. But maybe a segment of the society equally benefit from it. So I don't want to stretch it further.
Okay. Now, when you talk about logistics and supply chain, the people are, very important aspect of logistics. The people are critical to logistics, especially within the energy sector. People drive the trucks. People make sure the product gets on the trucks. People monitor. You narrated how these things work on the back end earlier. Now, with the way we are transiting, with the way things are moving, when you look at the sector, just look at it, in that helicopter view, do you think we're investing enough in our people to build a capable workforce, for what the transition is bringing to us around energy and if you think of logistics?
Well, from where I stand, I would say no, straight on.
Okay.
Within the ESG framework, the X there, which is social, actually represent the people. In terms of investment, within this, even within this energy transition chain, part of the biggest gap is the manpower. Manpower to man the various sections of the transition. Okay. For instance, in Nigeria today, I can assure you we have debts of manpower within the LPG and the CNG space. Possibly because we're still relatively new in it. So there's inadequate, and organizations, from what I see, have actually not declared it like a disaster. There needs to be huge investment across this chain to be able to consolidate on the gains that's already in existence. So what I can say, for now, no, okay, we have manpower challenges across the logistics chain. Within because the manpower side, it comes in segment. Those that manage the guys on the road.
Okay.
The guys on the road on their own need to be properly trained. Okay. Investment into human capital development. To be able to cope some of the challenges that are surmountable they face on the road on its own. From the back end, the people that manage it from the back end needs to be properly trained. So at the moment, we're having challenge with manpower in terms of
so if we put it
capacity building.
If we put this into more context now, I mean, from when you hire,
yes,
what do you see happen? What are the kind of role where you feel like you have a lot of challenges hiring? Maybe when you want to hire for the logistics company, where do you see the challenge the most? What kind of roles Maybe if we want to put into context that way.
Yeah, yeah. The where you get the challenging rules are more like tech related.
Okay.
You know, you know, IT related.
Okay.
People to follow up with these the activities of this trucking on real time. You
Okay,
know,
on real time.
monitoring real time where they are following up with the. I mean, if your system has been automated, following up with the automation.
Do you have real-time monitoring for your trucks?
Yeah, we do.
Real-time
We do,
monitoring.
we do,
So as
we
you're here, you can know where your truck is.
We do.
Oh,
We do.
that's good.
But again, it's being powered by internet infrastructure.
Okay.
So at times, it could get to certain locations that the internet is not too. I mean, begin to experience things like offline.
Offline.
It does happen. Those are part of the challenges. That even reminds me to earlier in the week I watched NSN Dukwe. I don't know whether you know him.
Yeah.
The NCC guy, and I was talking about when he was there, the things he would. I mean, broadband across the country and Africa. That by now Nigeria would have been heaven on earth, and
Yeah.
it was enumerating his challenges.
Yeah.
So you can see the
And he
challenge
did
of
quite a lot of work,
Yes.
you know, for the period he was there.
you can see the challenge of investment.
Yes.
So basically, manpower is a huge,
huge
gap. And again, if you invest, some of the challenges we probably face, you invest, train. After training, I mean, you could see what they call the Jabba syndrome. Or your next competitor is waiting for you to complete the training. And
All right. I understand we have, you know, more comments and questions on our YouTube. I mean, today's must really be a good day. Okay, Kai, every businessman wants to, this is from Sunday Samson. Every businessman wants to cut down costs with intention of maximizing profit. Hence, Dangote's so-called free delivery is a bait to conquer the oil and gas logistics sector. It's unsustainable. Okay, Jude Ibrahim Yusuf, interesting conversation. Dr. Jude giving us facts, shows his depth in the energy sector in Nigeria. Okay. Are there other more comments? You can't overstate the infrastructure lag in the energy space in Nigeria. Currently, there is need for more investment in the energy space for both government and private investors. Yusuf Ibrahim seems to have a lot of views. Yusuf. Okay, a few more comments and then we'll take the final question. Logistics, which accounts for about 70% of the total cost in the oil and gas sector, can never truly be free. That's a question you asked me before.
Wow.
Nothing is ever free in business. Dangote's offer is offer of free. Haulage is calculated strategy. Interesting. But every businessman will come with his strategy, Doc. What do you think?
well, yeah, you're right.
So-
It's strategy. I mean, you could get the free delivery today, tomorrow,
okay.
the next tomorrow. You begin to pay.
We have a question for you now. A quick question to Doc. Sir, what do you think is the next phase of the truck logistics in Nigeria in the light of current realities?
Yeah, the next phase actually is the next phase is actually where we are proceeding. That is on the transition.
Okay.
You know, the transition to cleaner fuels. You know, but beyond the transition to cleaner fuel, we've already talked about investment, the lag in terms of investment in infrastructure. You know, but the global directive now is on transition. I mean, you hear the big man talk about, hey, after these 4,000 trucks, we're already considering electric trucks. So these are actually the direction, the pointers. You know, so in basis our current reality, the direction of logistics, digitalization,
Okay.
automation,
Automation.
AI, Internet of Things, you know, I mean, with strong internet to support this whatever
you want to achieve.
we're doing.
Okay. Finally, before I let you go, if you had to pick one policy, you know, that could transform Nigeria's energy logistics in the next 5 years, what would it be and why? In 1 minute, because we're done.
It has to do with investment.
Investment.
It has to do with investment in infrastructure.
Okay.
a 10 to 15 years investment in infrastructure will go a long way solving Nigerian logistics challenges.
And particularly, where should that investment
The
go?
investment has to be, you have to decongest the ports,
The ports.
invest on the road, if possible, revive the pipes, and touch investment on rail.
Is the coastal road that is coming, is it a relief?
Well, it ought to be a relief, though there are lots of arguments against or in favor of the road.
Wahala did the finish for
So,
Nigeria.
so hopefully, let's see the completion of that road.
That
And we can,
road.
but however, it's an addition.
Okay.
It will add value,
to add value.
Upon completion.
Okay, amazing. Dr. Jude, thank you so much for the time. It's been an enriching conversation. As they said, your historical background of the logistics space in Nigeria is quite impressive. And I'm happy that a lot of people find it very interesting like I have. So thank you so much for coming. And we hope we can, from time to time, get you back, to discuss progress from different angles, how things are going. But today, thank you so much for making the time to join me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Want to say thank you to everyone, especially those who have really been following us on YouTube. Thank you so much. This is the much we can take for this week. Don't forget, the Energy Outlook is live, same time, same station, every week, every Friday. But before I let you go, just a quote from the CEO of Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. He said, logistics is no longer just about moving goods. It's about integrating visibility, speed, and intelligence across the entire energy value chain. This is just a better way to wrap up all we have discussed today on the program. If you miss other episodes, you can always catch them on our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You just click on Energy Outlook and all our previous episodes. You can watch them and follow, comment, and share. My name is Wisdom Chap Jumbo. You can also follow me across our social media platform at WChapJumbo and including LinkedIn itself. It's been amazing, this conversation today. See you next week, same time, same station. Don't miss it. Another important conversation. Have a lovely weekend.